Former division rival pass rusher Frank Clark recently revealed why he chose to sign with the Denver Broncos after spending the past 4 years with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this is coming from a tweet here from CBS Sports' Josina Anderson. Frank Clark to me on why he chose the Broncos on FaceTime. The situation with Sean Payton is good for me. I get to play alongside Randy Gregory and stay in my division that I'm very familiar with. I also want to help the Broncos get back to the mountaintop. Prior to his stint with the Kansas City Chiefs, Clark was a former first-round pick by the Seattle Seahawks back in 2015, so he's a former teammate of Russell Wilson's. Although there are plenty of Russell Wilson's former Seahawk teammates who have talked a lot of crap about him, Frank Clark has had nothing but positive things to say about Russ. I remember seeing them dapping each other up when the Chiefs and the Broncos played in Denver last season, and they had at least a 10-minute conversation pre-game, so clearly they're still very close and there's some mutual respect and admiration between the two guys. Although Clark didn't directly mention it, you have to imagine that getting to be able to play with an old friend and former teammate definitely played into this decision. In fact, in an interview at the Super Bowl, Clark was asked about the Broncos, and he said that he hopes the Broncos are able to find success again in the division. He later had to retract that statement in front of Chiefs media, but now it's funny how things come full circle, and he gets to aid the Broncos in helping them get back to the mountaintop. Although the Chiefs are still heavy favorites to win the division for obvious reasons, them losing a good player in Frank Clark was only to our benefit, and now it's even more to our benefit that Frank Clark gets to help us out. Although Baron Browning is expected to be sidelined for a while, potentially into the regular season, once Browning gets healthy, the Broncos are going to have a monstrous three-man rotation at edge rusher with Baron Browning, Randy Gregory, and Frank Clark. Last year, Clark had 39 total tackles and 5 sacks for the Chiefs. His best season of his career came in 2018, his final year in Seattle, where he had 42 total tackles and 14 sacks. So here's hoping that he'll be able to garner that level of production here in Denver, but he hasn't had that type of production for the past few years now. At this point in time, I feel like the most that we can expect out of Frank Clark is maybe a 5 to 7 sack type campaign, but I will absolutely take that, especially considering he's probably going to be third on the edge rush rotation once Baron Browning gets back. Because I really feel like Baron Browning, he's the future for us at the edge rush position. So when he gets back, I don't think they're going to want to take away snaps from him to get Frank Clark on the field. I'd be better off taking away snaps from Randy Gregory to get Frank Clark on the field. And I feel like that's probably what we're going to see once Baron Browning gets back into football shape. And although Clark didn't mention it, you have to imagine that being able to play against his old team 2 times a year and get that opportunity at a revenge game played into his decision as well. Here's hoping that Clark will finally help us be able to break our 15-game losing streak against the Chiefs. So I'm curious, Broncos country, although he didn't say it directly, how much do you think it was a factor in Clark's decision to be able to play against the Chiefs twice a year? Drop those comments down below, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts as always. Be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are 2 free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out to fellow members of Broncos country just like you and me. And until next time, guys, this has been another episode of Denver Broncos Syndicate. I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.